Hello, my dear students. This is Mrs. Shaima Gharib and today's lesson about fractions. In this video, we are going to talk about meanings of fraction, types of fractions, and how to shade fractions. Fractions are parts of a whole, which means it's smaller than 1. So we can say that their value is smaller than 1. Types of fractions. There are two types of fractions: proper fractions and improper fractions. Let's talk about proper fractions. Their value is smaller than 1. The numerator is smaller than the denominator. And remember that the numerator is the number up and the denominator is the number down. For example, 3/4, 6/7, 50/90. All these fractions are proper fractions because the number up or the numerator is smaller than the denominator, which means all the values here are smaller than 1. For the improper fractions, their value is bigger than 1, which means any improper fraction is greater than any proper fraction. Because, as we said, the value of the improper fractions is bigger than 1, and the value of the proper fractions is smaller than 1. The numerator is bigger than the denominator. Examples: 7/4, 10/7, 590. So all of these fractions are improper fractions. The numerator is greater than the denominator, and the value of all of them is bigger than 1. So each one of them is bigger than 1, and each one of them is bigger than any proper fraction. Also, we can write them as a mixed number because its value is greater than 1. And the mixed number should be greater than 1. So we can change any improper fraction into a mixed number, or we can write any improper fraction as a mixed number. There are many ways to read fractions. For example, this fraction here, we can read it and express it by many ways. For example, we can read it as 6/7, 6 from each 7, 6/7, 6 divided by 7, or 6/7. All these ways are really important to know for all the coming fractions lesson. So please, now I will give you example before we go to the next part of the video to practice on all these ways of reading fractions. This fraction, 2/3, please use your pen and paper and start to practice all the ways of reading and express this fraction, same as the example here. Shading fractions. This is the second part of our lesson today. Are you ready? Let's start it. Look at this example here. Shade the given fraction under each shape. We have this shape here, as you can see, and he asked you to shade 5/6. Do you remember the ways we read fraction? We can read it as one of them is 5 from each 6, which means we are going to shade 5 parts from each 6 parts. So I'm going to count 6 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And from this 6, I'm going to shade 5 parts only. So I will start to shade. And please remember that we are going to shade using pencil. And please, all the parts should be fully shaded. Remember this, that we shade using pencil and all the parts should be fully shaded. So I'm going to shade, as you can see here, all the parts should be fully shaded. And as we said, we are going to shade only 5 parts from each 6. So we started with the first group of 6 and we shaded 5 from the first 6, and then we have another 6 parts, as you can see. So we're going to shade one more 5 parts from these 6 parts. The order doesn't matter, of course. So at the end, we are going to shade how many? 10 parts from all the parts, 5 and 5, as you can see here. And make sure that all the parts are fully shaded with pencil, please. This is really important. Now, let's see one more example. So when we shade fractions with a given fraction, we use this way of reading fractions. It's better than anything else. 5 from each 6. Let's see the next fraction. It's 3 over 10, which means 3 from each 10. So from each 10 parts, I'm going to shade 3 parts. So here I have 5 and 5, which is 10. So from this 10, I'm going to shade only 3. So I'm going to shade any 3 from this 10 parts. And as we said, fully shaded with pencil. And another 10 here, I'm going to shade another 3 from the second 10 I have. Okay, so at the end, I will shade 6 parts in total. One more example. What do you think? I'm going to do exactly the same. 3 from each 8. So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is 8. So I'm going to shade 3 from the first 8 I have. And remember, pencil and fully shaded. Then I will start to shade another 3 from the second 8 I have. I have another 8 here. So I'm going to shade 3 more. Here we are. And as we said, it should be fully shaded with pencil. And the last 8 parts I have, I'm going to shade 3 from them. So at the end, I will shade 9 parts in total. 3 from the first 8, 3 from the second 8, and 3 from the third 8. So this is the way how we shade given fraction. Now let's look at this question. Write the shaded part as a fraction under each shape. How we write the shaded parts as a fraction? We are going to write the number of shaded parts over the number of all the parts, or the total number of parts in one whole. So this is the way how we write shaded parts as a fraction. Let's see an example. The first example here, how many parts are shaded? 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 3 parts, 4 parts shaded. So the fraction here will be 4 over 12. Why 12? Because the total number of parts are 12. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 times 4 equals 12. If you count on all the parts, you will find them 12 parts in total. So we write the number of shaded parts over the total number of parts. Let's see one more example. Here, how many parts are shaded? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 over the total number of parts. And the total number of parts is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 times 4 is 20. So all of them are 20. So now our fraction will be 5 over 20. One more example. Think of this example and stop the video and check your answer later. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 is the number of shaded parts, and the total number of parts is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 1, 2, 3, 4 times 4, which is 24. So the answer will be 8 parts over 24 parts, or 8 out of 24 parts. Now, questions time. Are you ready? Let's start. Lily wants to share her birthday cake among herself and her 5 friends. How much cake each one will get? So here, the number of parts she want to share is only 1 cake. So it will be 1 over 6, which is the number of all the friends and Lily. So Lily has 5 friends, so the total number of them is 6, and 1 cake will be shared among 6. So each one of them will take 1 over 6 from the cake. Let's see one more example. Mariam wants to share $4 among her 5 friends. What fraction of money each one will get? So the amount that we want to share is $4. So $4 will be shared among 5 friends, which means the 4 will be divided by 5, which means which fraction is it? Think of it. What do you think? Yes, so the $4 will be shared among 5, so each one will get a fraction which is 4 over 5, or 4/5 of the dollar. And here you have to mention the unit, which is dollar, because it's really important. We cannot just write 4 over 5. You must put the unit. One more question. Ali is sleeping for 8 hours every day. What fraction of the day does he sleep? So here he's asking about what fraction of the day. He's sleeping 8 hours every day. And how many hours are there in one day? 24. So he is sleeping 8 hours out of 24 hours. So our fraction here will be 8 over 24. We can simplify this fraction, or we can keep it as it is. That's it. Let's see next question. Shade 3/8 of the shape below. What did we say about shading fractions? Which way we are going to shade? It means 3 from each 8. So we're going to shade 3 fractions from each 8. Now let's start to shade 3 from each 8. We have 4 and 4, which is 8. So we're going to shade 3 from the first 8 we found. We count. And then make your shading accurate, please. And remember, we use pencil, and all parts should be fully shaded. Then we are going to shade another 3 from the second 8 we have. So at the end, we'll be having 6 parts shaded in total, as you can see. Our last example, write the shaded part as a fraction. As we said before, we start counting the number of shaded parts over the total number of the parts in the whole shape. Let's start counting the shaded parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 9 shaded parts in total. What about the total number of parts in the whole shape? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 8 times 4 equals 32. So we can say that the total number of the parts is 32 and the shaded parts are 9. So our fraction will be 9 over 32. And please remember that before you start watching any video, you should have a piece of paper and a pen to take notes and to solve the given examples. So after each question, you stop the video and start to solve, then play the video to check your answer and to understand the question in case you get a wrong answer. This is the end of our lesson today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have any question, please feel free to leave a comment and I will answer you as soon as possible. See you next video, and please remember that your feedback is highly appreciated. Thank you very much and see you soon.